Hi, my name is Jenny, and welcome to the special episode of 7 Minutes in St. Lucia, inspired by Mother's Day. So, the St. Lucia Jazz Festival and Mother's Day have been inextricably linked for almost 30 years now. So Mother's Day in St. Lucia is usually a very celebratory occasion with lots of family and so on, but also lots of music because of the Jazz Festival. So the second Sunday in May is Mother's Day, and it is also the last day of St. Lucia Jazz. So the celebration of Mother's Day begins traditionally with a church service, and we go to give thanks and praise, and then followed by lots of family get-togethers, lots of food, and of course in the afternoon the trek to Pigeon Island National Landmark for jazz. So it has been very, very much a time of celebration and revelry and music. Of course, in these days with COVID-19, not so much. So we expect that the celebrations around Mother's Day this year will be very much scaled down. And so we decided to try to inspire you with some dishes that you can try that are delicious, that are easy to make, and that are very versatile for, brunch, lunch, or dinner. We are going to kind of twist a little some traditional ingredients, and so we're going to try to make for you today some sweet potato soup. But this is not just any old sweet potato soup. It is curried sweet potato soup. And the second dish we're going to try for you today is baked passionfruit plantains. So some interesting flavor profiles are ahead. So let us start. We begin with the curried sweet potato soup. And the first thing we do is to take some boiled sweet potatoes, raw sweet potatoes into a pot. And I'm actually combining some sweet potatoes and some carrots. That's a little trick I learned. It pumps up the color of the soup a little bit. So you have about 4 to 6 cups of cut up sweet potatoes, about 4 cups of water, and you can just throw in some very roughly chopped onions, a couple of bay leaves, and some whole seasoning pepper. And the reason why we put the extra seasoning into the potato and the water is because we want to flavor the water a little bit, and because that will become the stock for our soup. Let's not forget to put in about 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So we will cover that and we will put it on the fire. I'm going to put it at the back here because we have other things going on. So that will cook until the potatoes are tender. Once they are, you will drain them. Keep the liquid, the cooking liquid, because that is the base for your stock for the soup. So we're now about to start the soup. We're going to begin with 1/4 stick of butter. And You're going to melt that. And then you're going to add my all-time secret ingredient. 2 tablespoons of blended seasoning. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that in a minute. Of blended seasoning. And you're going to let that saute for a little bit. And then you're going to add 1 tablespoon of curry powder. You can use any curry powder, of course. I have my homemade curry powder here, but you can use any curry powder purchased in the market. So once this is sauteed and you begin to get the aroma of the herbs in the blended seasoning and the curry, you are going to add your sweet potato. This is the boiled sweet potato with some carrots. Add your sweet. This is about 5 cups of sweet potato and carrots. Just get that all mixed in. Great. And then you're going to add your stock. Remember, this is the stock that is left over from boiling the sweet potatoes. So it has the sweet potato flavor, and remember you put some onions and peppers and some bay leaves in it. So you're going to add about 4 to 5 cups of stock. 4 to 5 cups of stock. Get that all mixed in. And then you are going to add, you're going to do a little cheat. You're going to add 2 bay leaves, and you're going to do a little cheat by adding a Bouquet Garni. Now, I want you to just take a look at this Bouquet Garni. It has thyme, it has green onions, it has shadow benny, which is our local version of cilantro. It has celery, and it has parsley. And what we're going to do is make a little bundle to put in the pot. I love kitchen gadgets. Right. Just wrap that up. It's a herb bouquet, and so just wrap that up. It is actually a cheat's way to get the flavors of the herbs into the pot without having to cut them up. So you've got your Bouquet Garni. I want you to add a little bit of freshly ground pepper. Another gadget. And you're just going to let that, cover that, and let it simmer. It'll simmer for about 30 minutes. You should continue to check it to make sure it doesn't thicken too much. If it does, you can always add some additional stock. Yeah? So that will go on the burner to boil for about 30 minutes. I have a pot here that has been bubbling away. So I'll add this one. Take this one over here. Turn the fire down. So now we have a pot. That is just the advanced version of the one we've just put together. It smells absolutely delicious. So now what we're going to do is remove the Bouquet Garni. It has more than done its job flavoring the soup and the bay leaves. Any little bits and pieces that may have escaped from the Bouquet Garni. Great. The final step in the soup is, of course, to blend it. And we are going to use a wand blender. But before I do that, I want to go back a little bit and tell you about the blended seasoning. I can't leave here without telling you about the blended seasoning. This is the best way to support yourself for a week of cooking. I make my blended seasoning on Saturday afternoons after I've been to the market and I've collected all my goodies. It contains onions, peppers, both seasoning peppers and bell peppers. It contains garlic. It contains thyme. It has celery and parsley and shadow benny. And I just pulse it through in my food processor. I make a container of this every Saturday, and that takes me through the week. This is my seasoning for meats and fish. This is my starting point for soups and stocks. This is used on eggs. It is used in, even my spaghetti sauce starts with this. It is a fantastic way to save time and make sure that your food is always flavorful. So it's a tip. It's worth the hour or so that it takes on a Saturday to make, especially if you have a glass of rum punch to keep you company. So I am now going to blend my soup. Let me first of all.
No.
Sorry, I hadn't turned on the electricity. Get the soup blended so it's nice and smooth and velvety. And then you will add a quarter cup of coconut milk. It's always good to taste the flavor. Fabulous. And that is your sweet potato soup. So the only thing that is left to do is to put it in your serving dish and you're ready to go. The garnish for this is simply a few drizzles of coconut, like an abstract painting. And your soup is ready. Now for the second part, and that is the plantains. Let's go. I'm going to move to another part of the kitchen. I'm going to do the plantains in passionfruit juice. So I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil. I have half a cup of fresh passionfruit juice, 2 tablespoons of honey, half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and just a little grate of nutmeg. And this is going to be the cooking liquid for your preparing the plantain is very simple. You need a paring knife and you cut off the ends. Then you cut each plantain in 2 and then cut each half into lengthwise. You're going to use your paring knife to score, just lightly score the flesh of the plantain, and that allows the flavor of the cooking liquid to permeate through the plantain, and it also gives a nice presentation. You'll do that to all of your plantain. There's a nice diamond hatch marks. Good. All right. Good. Let me do one more. So this is a simple dish. Usually we have plantains fried or boiled. This is a nice, a very delicious and different way of serving plantain. Doesn't take a lot of time and it's very tasty and a little different. Okay, so you're going to put your plantains in your grease dish And we will pour the cooking liquid over. Now you can imagine the flavor of the plantain, which has a very nice flavor on its own, combined with the passion fruit and the spices. So you're going to put it in. Are wonderful takes on traditional ingredients that are very readily available, particularly at this time of year. So we hope that we have inspired you to add them to your Mother's Day brunch or lunch or dinner. So here is the finished product, the plantains. See how nice they look? And we are going to just present them. These are so good. Everybody I've introduced them to, it becomes a favorite. And one for the chef. Before I do that, let me just drizzle some of the leftover liquid. Just a bit. And we're going to garnish that. Just a little sprig of some mint leaves. Just scatter it over. Maybe one, just there you go. So there we have it, our passion fruit, baked passion fruit plantains. So we're going to take our dishes now out to the veranda for service. Some traditional favorites. Please don't forget to let us know what else you want to see on hashtag 7 Minutes in St. Lucia. And for all you mothers out there, we